Hi, everyone. Good Friday evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us here for WSAZ Plus. I'm Taylor Eaton, and we are bringing you updates on that wintry weather that we are experiencing. It was a really tough day of travel. We saw a lot of school closings and delays, and now we have to talk about the weekend ahead. As you're planning out your weekend, what do things look like? What will you run into if you're not going to cancel those plans, if you still have to go out and about? So for that, we're going to turn things over to our chief meteorologist, Tony Cavalier, joining me up here on WSAZ Plus again. Tony has been busy, busy, busy. I feel like it's been nonstop for you as of late, but so has winter.
You won't remember this, but from the 1970s, the peace sign, right?
Uh-huh.
We have two more opportunities for snow to whiten the ground here over the weekend. One comes tomorrow morning, and the other will be on Sunday morning.
All right. Well, Tony, on that note, let's just get right to it. I'm going to pull up your weather graphics so that way everyone can see here. It's fitting, Tony, because we've got the Winter Olympics starting, and you said this picture right here of Logan reminded you kind of an Olympic village. Why is that?
It does, because most Olympic villages are down in valleys, and they're in valleys for a reason. It's more temperate, the climate. So in Milano Cortina, I think you're going to see rain this week, where, of course, in the high Alps, or in this case, the high Appalachian Mountains, earlier we could see the high Appies down in Logan, West Virginia, were capped with snow. So it did snow, and there is snow on the ground in downtown Logan itself. But you can see Logan Boulevard is wet right now. The temperature's running 33, 34 degrees, and it's going to be a race overnight. Will we dry the roads out before we get sub-freezing and down into the 20s and teens? Or will a new sneak attack from snow come in and create some new hazard problems tomorrow morning?
So we're not done with the snow yet. There are still areas that could see some more snowfall overnight.
I expect a blossoming of snow overnight as
Okay.
Arctic air comes in. And so many of us will awaken to a fresh coating of an inch or so first thing tomorrow morning.
All right. Well, Tony, how much did we end up getting today? It really slickened up travel. Things were a mess there for a few hours. So what are we looking at as far as totals in different areas?
Remarkably uniform across the area.
Okay.
2 to 3 inches seem to be the average. A couple of rogue 4s and 5s. And naturally in the mountains, Richwood and Snowshoe got to show off. They had 8 inches. But for the most part, it was a nice uniform snow. Eastern Kentucky had some rain at the beginning, so less than an inch, for example, in Pikeville. And I know Jimmy T went down to see the Battle of Paintsville on the hardwood tonight. The Golden Eagles of Johnson Central and the Paintsville Tigers had a basketball game tonight. And there's a reason for that, because that part of eastern Kentucky, the roads remained wet, and there was just a grassy accumulation of snow. But this pretty much tells the story. Jackson, what's going on in the water in Jackson this year? You've had so much snow this winter. 3 inches through Vinton and Jackson County. Spencer, Ripley, that Route 33 zone through central West Virginia, 3 inches. Barbersville, I measured 2.5 inches of snow. Huntington coming in about the same. Wayne also. Charleston Hurricane, again, in that 2.5 to some 3-inch range.
All right. Well, Tony, let's talk about what's next, because you mentioned there's still some stuff on the radar for us overnight and into the weekend. First alert weather day for us still there.
I went home for dinner because I knew the road was going to be wet. As I came back, I drove 7th Avenue through Huntington. And that's the one that's very, very sparsely driven upon. And as I got to a red light, I opened up the door just to make sure that I wasn't on ice. And I wasn't. I was on slush. But the slush has been compacted. And once that temperature falls, that's going to turn to a sheet of ice. So 7th Avenue between the 16th Street and the A Street Viaduct going to turn into a sheet of ice. And now we're going to put a fresh coat of snow on top of that. So that just gives you an idea of how things are shaping up. I have an interesting curlicue on the 32-degree line. I'm seeing Cincinnati and Lexington above freezing. And that tells me we're not going to have sub-freezing temperatures in the 20s for several hours. So the west-northwest wind will grab colder air and thrust it in, and by dawn we'll be down in the teens and low 20s across the area. Even though Charleston's registered 30, Madison 32 right now, there's so much salt and so many chemicals in the ground right now that any treated road, any interstate, any road like 119, okay, won't respond to a 31 or a 30-degree temperature. It'll take 29 or 28, and where our air is coming from, Cincinnati and Lexington, there are no 28-degree temperatures. So we should be okay. Of course, you can't let your guard down, but we should be okay into the wee hours of the morning. And I preface this by saying, where there's slush on the road, slush is a form of ice. It's melting ice and can be slick to travel upon or to brake upon. Doppler radar shows what I mean now, Taylor. In the last hour, can you see how all of a sudden now snow showers and flurries are blossoming? As the Arctic air comes in aloft, it's now inciting these fingers of snow. Can you see the one, Logan, heading toward Oceana? That would be from Logan County into Wyoming County near Madison. So we have the makings of these snow showers in northern Ohio to team with the cold air over us for a fresh coating. And I think many areas awaken to a half to an inch of snow tomorrow morning. Underneath will be the slush that will have frozen solidly, and temperatures will be diving down. Then you scroll ahead to Sunday. I want to take you on a safari. The home of the 1988 Winter Games was in Calgary, Canada. Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And guess what's up there? You're looking at 1,900 miles away, but there's another Alberta Clipper, and it's pointed right in our direction. It's moving at 50 miles an hour. That's the wind field at about the 20,000 foot level that drives these, and that puts it about 36 hours away. And that's why I'm saying on Sunday morning, we will likely awaken to a new snowfall coming in. Figuring an inch in parts of the area, and we'll have to define with Emily all weekend long where that sets up. But that'll be the last in the series of clippers that will then lead to a more moderate atmosphere. So 22 tomorrow for a high, starting out near 10. 5 to 10 above on Sunday morning with a fresh coat of snow coming in both mornings. 28 Sunday afternoon, then here we go. After teens on Monday morning, we're in the 30s and above freezing in the afternoon. A one-day rise into the 50s on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, we get in on a 3-day period of rain. And that will likely bring us an inch to an inch and a half over a 3-day period. And that'll whittle totally away at the snow. Days will be in the 40s, and we're careful if those nights fall to freezing for a little possibility of freezing rain. But for the most part, we'll get rid of the snow and the ice. Ice-clogged streams will break up, so we may have some ice jamming going on. And we're also going to have to, if we have an inch and a half of rainwater, and the stored water in the snowpack is going to unleash about an inch of water. So we have the makings of some streams and rivers rising at the end of the 7-day period.
And I mean, would you think that would cause us any flooding problems, street flooding or anything like that?
Well, what will happen around the storm culverts that are covered by all these piles of snow, that'll be a for certain. Whether, if you get an inch and a half of rain over 3 days, you know, and you whittle away at the snow, I think streams come up, but probably don't go into flood. If you get an inch and a half of rain in one of those days, then you may have a problem. So that's just something we'll watch. And it's typical after a long, hard winter. It's typical for a period of high water to occur. If you look at all the great winters, 1977 comes to mind. There was a tremendous flood down in Logan County after the coldest winter of the 20th century. It ended with violent flooding down in Logan County in 1977, among other counties. So that certainly would be a possibility down the road. But the alert days are for Saturday and Sunday right now.
Okay.
And they're there for bitter cold and for a fresh coat of snow on both mornings to add a little more ambiance to the winter landscape, not that we need it, and also to remind us that we have a couple more icy days underfoot on untreated roads, and certainly on those extremities that are not protected from the wind, because tomorrow the wind will blow all day long. I'm actually suggesting moms and dads don't let the kids go out, if you can do this, until noontime, because we'll start tomorrow morning 10 to 15 with a wind of 15 to 20 miles an hour, and the wind chill will be below zero, and I don't think the kids can handle that. Wait for mid-afternoon or early afternoon. Sun will be out by that time. We'll have a snow glare that will basically blind us once the clouds and snow flurries move away. That might be the best time to get the kids out for a couple hours of sledding.
Okay, so 2 first alert weather days for us still ahead for the weekend. What are we thinking about come Monday morning, Tony, maybe for the kids to head back to school? Do you think a lot of them are back in class at that point, or you still think we see some closings?
The same list we had today will be replicated on Monday, but probably with a lot more delays. We'll be in the teens, so the thaw by day, not that we're getting above freezing, but the little melting that goes on. And we have so many rural winding roads that basically are in these counties in our area. So as an added precaution, I think school superintendents will have to have school delays on Monday morning.
All right. Well, it sounds like, if you've got plans this weekend, don't cancel them. I guess just be extra careful and maybe just allow yourself that little bit of time. Maybe if you can push things off to tomorrow afternoon.
I'm kind of thinking of those Super Bowl parties where,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
Sunday.
let's see, we kick at 6:30. NBC's coverage probably starts at noon, knowing the appetite that the American society has for football. I would say going to a Super Bowl party, the roads will have been fine. The back roads will still be somewhat icy and a
Right.
little slushy. But coming back, we will have gone from 28 to, by the time the game's over, it'll be about 18 or 20. So the refreeze will go on. So careful coming home, and fingers crossed that your team wins. I know you're a big Patriots fan, right? I've been
I thought you were looking right at me.
I've been debating back and forth. All the experts are saying that Seattle is the
I know.
superior team. So, I guess that's what they get paid to do, and I get paid to make predictions. And sometimes I'm wrong. So we'll see if the Patriots can pull off the upset and add another ring to Robert Kraft's hand.
Well, it'll be fun to watch, and I know we'll be here taking it all in, and we'll be with our viewers at 6, 10, and 11, and here on WSAZ Plus. We're looking forward to it.
And what about Lindsey Vonn is skiing on Sunday? I wonder when that's going to be on NBC. I don't want to miss that.
I know. Well, she's impressive, and I mean, you talk about her overcoming a whole lot. I mean, she's proven she's tough.
And she had a
She's
downhill. She had a downhill run today. I was reading on my dinner break. Apparently, it went pretty well. They gave the time. I didn't recognize that as being fast or not. They didn't say so.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that when you're doing the downhill run, you're just figuring, okay, where are the moguls? Where's the area? Where is the serpentine a little too tight? So I don't think you're going for time so much as you're measuring the course, putting it in your brain. Okay, here's what I have to do under the perfect conditions in order to medal at the Milano Cortina Winter Olympics here on NBC.
Well, listen, when you reach that pinnacle of sport, it is so impressive when you watch these athletes. And we hope everyone's going to be tuning in for all the action here with us at WSAZ. We've got Olympics, we've got Super Bowl on Sunday. It's going to be a big weekend ahead. So
Taylor, great to be with you as always.
always, yes, maybe just a weekend that you can hang out and watch all that coverage here with us on WSAZ.
Which reminds me, I was going to give a hometown hero to the Ironton Rotary tomorrow. It was their 50th anniversary of a pancake breakfast.
How wonderful.
So I've been avoiding loading up on carbs, and, well, they've put that off till next week, Valentine's weekend. So you'll see that story coming up here in the next several weeks. And pancakes tomorrow will have to either be at IHOP, your favorite restaurant, or in your own house, because it will be bitter cold in the morning.
Oh, well, we're looking forward to that story. Tony, thank you so much, as always, for being on WSAZ Plus and updating us on the weekend forecast. We appreciate it. Everyone, just be careful. And remember, we've got all that fun stuff happening on WSAZ this weekend. So tune in, and Tony, Tim, and I, and Jimmy will be with you on Sunday for Super Bowl. So we're looking forward to seeing everyone then and seeing who comes out as the winner of that game.
Great to be with you, Taylor.
Always, Tony. Thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in on WSAZ Plus. You can watch with us here throughout the weekend for full news, weather, and sports updates. Thank you so much. Have a great Saturday and Sunday, everyone.